Traumatic experience. It's something that everyone has probably experienced at some point in their lives. Uh, I I have it. You have it. Everybody have it. Well, for some of you who don't have it, well, that's good. I'm happy for you because no one should ever experience a traumatic experience. But what if your traumatic experience was played down by a streamer? So today, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, which is to react to Moist Critical, aka Penguinz0, aka Charlie. Uh, this video is already like 3 days old, but I decided to react to this because because of what he's talking about here is actually relevant to what has been happening in my recent live streams. So I would, yeah. So let's get to it.
Now there's a Twitch streamer getting tomatoes thrown at him all across Twitter for a clip that's going viral of him having an embarrassing and horrible response to one of his community members answering a question that he asked them.
In Spanish, and it's chef's kiss.
Okay, all right. Um, let's see. From what I understand, this girl is one of the streamers regular viewers. So what she said is that I know that I'm also in the wrong a little for saying, well, my mom died in the stream after being asked where have I been, where have I been, but the response just isn't it, fam. I made a tweet longer thingy to share a little background, but here you go. So yeah, apparently this girl said that in his stream, said that her mom died, and the streamer didn't respond well to it.
All right. Curvy, where the fuck have you been? Oh my god. Well, tell you what, Miss Dirty Curvy, you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to talk about it in my chat. Because it's Friday. And that is a whole big bucket of bummer.
And his
Yeah, not a single modicum of empathy. Uh, he said a whole big bucket of bummer because someone said that their mom died. Not not a single drop of empathy, like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I think that's like would be the most appropriate response here, but uh apparently he just doesn't have the decency to respond like that.
his response is a big barrel of butt cheeks. So to give context to this situation
Alright.
here on the
Charlie
lore,
is always
uh,
Charlie is always very, very spot on with his humor.
this was a regular viewer of this streamer, an avid supporter who had taken a bit of a hiatus and was unfortunately going through a very hard time with her mother passing. So, when he saw that she was back, he asked her, "Oh, where have you been?" To which she just answered honestly, her mother had passed away, so, it was a bit of a tough time. That's why she was taking a break. And then for some reason, this must have input a cheat code into the streamer's brain that just sent him into, like, debate club. He, for some reason, then just goes into, like, this TED talk about how you shouldn't answer his question if your answer is something sad, because it brings down the vibes of the stream.
Yeah, uh the thing here is that the streamer asked the viewer himself, where has she been, and well, the viewer responded, where she has been. Her mom died. She's been busy coping and basically, well, doing the burial, doing really burial grieving and all that stuff. And well, you saw how the streamer reacted. It's bad.
It's baffling because you had asked her, and she just answered your question
Exactly.
honestly. I'll play a bit more of the clip before getting into it, but I want to make it clear early on that I understand a lot of streamers have a similar perspective where you don't really want someone in chat that's just talking about like a really traumatic experience they're going through because it's not really the place for it, and the streamer's not the therapist. Like, I do get that perspective, but there's a difference between, like, just a random person treating Twitch chat like it's their psychiatrist and you asking someone a question and them answering honestly, especially when it's a member of the community that you already kind of know to a certain level.
Okay, there it is. So yeah, what has been happening in my live stream? I mean, I don't have like a lot of viewers, but uh, certain people has been doing that kind of thing. I mean, like you know, if you have like sad news, of course, I'll respond accordingly. I'll respond with empathy. But uh, when you just drone on and on and on about your what about your traumatic experience, all sorts of traumatic experiences in the chat while I'm streaming, and you're kind of like demanding attention, kind of like demanding attention from me. Uh, that's not exactly the time and place. I mean, I'm sorry that you experienced that, and I really feel for you. I really do. But there is a time and place for that, and a stream where we play some games and we have fun is not exactly a place where you want to be talking up about your traumatic experiences and seeking counsel. For that, you want a professional help.
I don't understand.
And I'm sorry for your loss, but we're not doing that in my fucking chat. Thank you. Well, okay, Miss Dirty Curvy, you said no, that's fine. You asked, so I told. No, I didn't ask you to tell me the biggest fucking bummer news in the world.
Uh, you this Rimmel literally asks, "Where has she been?" Well, she was answering. My mom died. Okay, all right then. Why the hell is he blowing off a gasket instead of just saying, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that." Just some just some modicum of empathy. Seems like it's impossible for this guy.
I said, hey, what's up? How are you? You know what? Let me give you a little bit of a lesson, Miss Nerdy Curvy. When something really, really bad is going on in your life, and in a public forum, someone asks you, hey, what's up? How are you? There are two acceptable responses. Good, and you know what? I'll make it through.
Is he serious? Is he really is he serious about that? I mean, so there are only two acceptable responses, and you are not allowing your viewer to respond to your questions accordingly. She was just answering a question, and it just so happens that the answer was a sad news, in which you reacted like a friggin' troglodyte.
That's it.
So you want to just talk to NPCs that only have two dialogue options, okay? Then why bother trying to communicate with a human being?
Yep.
See is those two responses is you being able to respond with some level of empathy like, oh man, that's terrible, I'm sorry to hear that, or damn, that's awful news, stay strong, or man, shit, that's terrible, hopefully today's stream can lift your spirits a bit. Like, you also have equally easy responses.
Yeah. I agree with Charlie here. The thing the thing that happened in my stream is that the person just kept going on and on and on about their traumatic experiences while making all the other viewer uncomfortable and making me uncomfortable as well, because I had to drop everything and listen to this person uh, telling their traumatic experiences. I had to listen, and I had to console them. Uh, while I just want to do the stream, and the other viewers also wanna watch me do the stream. If you have like a traumatic experience, again, I'm very sorry to hear that. All I can really say here is that hopefully this stream will take your mind off it a little bit. And if you want to talk about the experiences that you have, well, maybe let's go to the Discord DMs, or the Discord server that I have, link in the description down below.
To like in
Oh, I asked you where you were. Look, Mr. Curvy, I'm just subtly trying to tell you that unloading really heavy news in people's chats on Twitch is not like good etiquette. It's not the place to do it.
Absolute clown. Uh, let's move on.
Like I said in the very beginning, I do understand the perspective of not wanting your community to treat it like it's like a therapy session where they're dropping really heavy things going on in their personal lives into the Twitch chat or asking you to solve the problems for them. I do agree that that is just not the time nor the place, and that's not going to help the person either. That's not going to help them or anyone else around you that needs like professional help and someone to actually be there and qualified to give real helpful advice to that person that's struggling.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it if you're treating the chat or the streamer like your personal therapist, it's not going to help because, well, the streamer, the person you're talking to it's not a therapist, and just expecting the chat or the streamer to solve your problems for you, it's not gonna help. It's not it's not the therapist corner, if I may put it that way. But instead, you would want professional help. But again, this is not to downplay those of you who have like traumatic experiences, but treating the chat and the stream like your personal therapist space isn't gonna help you or anyone else.
But that's not the situation this streamer was in. He had asked a community member that he knew a question, and it was a personal question. Where have you been? Now I'm waiting for your answer. And they explained, well, it's just been a bad time because her mom had passed away. And that's it. She didn't like keep going forward about it, like to try and like make it all about what she's going through. She just answered his question point blank. And for some reason he went off the rails about it.
Yeah, that is total clown behavior. Just zero empathy, like none whatsoever. Don't don't respond. If you're like a streamer, also don't respond to sad news like that. Show some humanity. Show some human empathy.
93% of all Twitch streamers pull less than 5 viewers, so anything more than 5 immediately puts you in the top 6.7.
Wait, hold on. Stats put together by if any streamer affiliate part average more than 6 viewers, then they were in the top 6.7 of the entire site. Ooh. So if I were to be on Twitch and I have like at least 6 viewers, I was in the top of 6.7% in the entire site. Ooh. 93.3% of streamers on the site are only pulling in 5 viewers or less. Ooh. streaming streaming's hard.
7% of the site. These are old numbers too. These are from 2021, so I imagine this is only grown. So why am I bringing this up? Well, because the streamer who right now is catching more tomatoes than the goddamn Heinz ketchup factory is not a huge streamer. At least not by most people on Twitter's definition of a big streamer. He has around 55 average viewers, and to put that in perspective, that does put him in the top 1% of Twitch, at least based on the numbers I'm seeing. Because again, the vast majority of streamers are streaming to actually 0 people. Crickets. You have better luck getting your old high school classmates to watch your Facebook live stream than you do getting found on Twitch and starting a community from nothing.
So yeah, I just want to take a moment to say that I'm very thankful for you guys who have been following me for quite some time. So I at least have like uh 4 or 5 viewers at least every time I stream, and I think that's already huge. I mean, I know that this is YouTube. This is YouTube. That is like Twitch, but I still feel very blessed. So thank you guys. Seriously, that means a lot. Especially when you think that there's a lot of streamers out there that has literally 0 viewers. So, again, thank you.
Everyone that's just writing him off as a nobody and fuck small streamers, who cares what they're saying or what their opinion is. I hate that perspective and I will always hate that perspective. The mentality around numbers is so like fucked up these days that they can't recognize how big of a number 55 average viewers is.
Uh, Honestly, that really touched my heart. Holy shit, Charlie! Oh my god. So, Charlie is saying that small streamers actually have a voice, and their opinions like do matter too. Uh, actually, I'm a little bit tearing up by that. I'm actually quite touched. All right, all right.
Like, yes, it's not the biggest
Before I
streamers
begin
on Twitch, but
crying.
that's still a pretty large number when put in perspective with how big the market is and how saturated it is. But this ties into the bigger point I want to make on the back of those numbers. The market being as saturated as it is, carving out a community being as tough as it is, the last thing you want to do is fuck it up, which is exactly what this guy has just done. He's currently streaming right now with like 140 viewers, which is more than he normally averages, but I imagine the majority of this is hate watchers hoping to just shit on him in the chat.
Yeah. If you have viewers, no matter how many there, if you have like 5 viewers, 6 viewers, you value them because they're your supporters. And well, especially if you have like a small number of viewers, they're usually like loyal supporters. And for this streamer to just to just disrespect them like that, it's baffling, to be honest. And I'm just giving you guys my word, to whoever that is like watching until this point, that I will never do that. I'm just giving you guys my word. And that's all.
And I've already seen it from a couple of his subs. Some people were saying how disappointed they were in him. And that's a really big deal because when you have a really tight knit community, once the viewers start feeling like you don't actually give a fuck about them at all, or that you're kind of a piece of shit, they probably won't stick around because there's so many other streamers that they'll just go to. So this will potentially end up being a huge problem for him. His first response was this on Twitter, where he's just taking full responsibility for being an asshole.
All right. So what's his response? In response to Nerdy Curvy, my reaction to the news he shared in the chat while I was live. My apologies to her. That was a C-worthy reaction. I shouldn't have been such a douche. I was just annoyed from the repeated trauma dumping that had been happening that week. Uh, okay. All right. So trauma dumping, right? Um, the thing is that this has happened to me. I have been getting like trauma dump, and honestly, that wasn't a very fun experience. Honestly, because it just feels like this viewer was just using me and everyone in the chat like as their personal therapist, and I don't approve of that. But uh, still, for you to react to a horrible news, to a awful news, like with zero empathy, is just terrible.
Which I guess is fine. Like, he's just saying, yeah, this was a real piece of shit here. But then 12 hours later, he made an apology video and doubled down on everything from his initial Twitter clip.
Firstly, it is
Oh,
well
boy.
known in my channel that I do not tolerate heavy news, drama, or trauma dumping, if you will, being entered or dropped into the chat. This has been discussed and explained and made clear many times while I've been live over the last 4+ years that I've been on Twitch. The people that come to my channel often, they know this. They see it all the time. So that's something that I want to make sure everyone understands.
He directly blames her for violating his terms of service for being a chatter, basically, saying,
Oh my god. Terms of he has his own terms of service of being a chatter. Basically, like no trauma, absolutely no trauma dumping, dude. If someone just wants to drop bad news, it's fine. Just respond accordingly. But just make sure that uh, the person the person is just not making it all about themselves. If the person is making it all about themselves, well, you tell them that you should like move it elsewhere and not here because there's a time and place for that. So you don't you don't like downplay their horrible experience also. Yeah.
I have very strict rules. You're not allowed to kill vibes with bad news or anything drama related or heavy. Okay, then don't ask questions that could potentially lead to like someone being honest with you, man. Not everything in the world is going to be sunshine and rainbows. So why
Exactly.
ask a question to your viewers that they might just be open about if you don't want to actually hear it? You know,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense. Like, and why are you blaming her? You're fucking blaming the victim here in this situation. What a terrible look. When you had already in your previous tweet sang a very different tune, where you're like, yeah, this one's kind of on me. I was a douchebag. What changed? All of a sudden now, you woke up this morning and you feel like you're not a douchebag, you're a superhero. In fact, she's the villain because she didn't follow your strict chat rules.
I have a feeling that that guy might actually be like bipolar.
This is not the first time that she's violated the expectation that people not share heavy news in my channel. The frustration from having her argue in chat that she was, quote, just answering my question,
But she was.
even though she's been spoken to about this type of thing before.
Calling this an apology is a disservice to apologies. He is literally just justifying his reaction and saying
That
it's
was not
all
apology.
her fault. She violated our expectation of her in chat and then said she has a history of doing it. And in her statement, one of her twitlongers, she clarifies a bit deeper on what he's talking about. And he's pretty misleading with the way he portrays what happened here. Again, you asked her a question, she answered it. So the quote, I was just answering your question, is very accurate because that is all she was doing, man.
Frowned upon. Dude, I'm getting follows right now. From Joe JCKS. Bro Chacho, welcome to the channel, dude. Thanks for the follow. Yeah.
He even acknowledges that maybe he should edit that out and then decides not to. He should have edited that out. That's a what a big yikes moment there.
That was supposed to be like an apology video, and he still decided to like call out a follow, and that was supposed to be like a serious apology video. Yikes! Holy crap!
In your fucking apology, not an apology, in
Uh,
your blaming, pointing the finger video, you get a follower. Take a moment to say thanks for the follow and like just call out the follower during this. What a bad look. How could you not recognize that as a potential problem? But regardless, the actual video he has made here is not a good response. It is somehow even worse than the initial one with the doubling down and trying to justify it. Like, just have an obvious common sense level headed response like, yep, I overreacted. This was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I don't even know what I was thinking. I must have just been in a bad mood. Like it was just so easy to move on from this. But instead, you doubled down, and now you look real silly for it. That's about it. So, yeah.
Another banger video from Charlie. Yeah, I just felt like as a fledgling streamer, in which I had this sort of case happen to me, and uh, I'm kind of stumped as to what to do about it. This video is definitely like a godsend, and so I decided to react to it. And again, I'm very sorry for those who have have or are going through uh, traumatic experiences. Uh, I'm not trying to downplay anything, and it is very bad that it happened to you, and it's very bad that it's happening to everyone. But the stream is not a place for you to have like some sort of therapy session, some sort of self help forum. It's there's such a thing called boundaries, and there's such a thing as a time and place for that. If you want to talk about your trauma, you go somewhere else, and maybe you talk to your friends, uh, you talk to a Discord server, or you talk to a Discord DM, but not in the stream where everyone's just trying to have fun. So yeah, I guess that's it from me. That's all for today, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.